So yesterday, like I said, Omaha the Birds of Plus. We have a young lady. I just saw her on the internet with her dad because I know her dad, and you know, I'm really a shy guy. Unless I'm in front of my mic. Like so we're talking about introverts.
Yes.
Earlier, I'm really an introvert unless I'm in front of my mic, and so I don't do like the videos, post the videos and TikTok, dance and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But I need to. But when I saw this brother doing, and I think I'm older than he is still. But I said, dang, he's a dad, and he's doing the TikTok thing. Yeah, I think it's a TikTok. Was it a TikTok?
I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay. So I said, and then I saw you. I didn't know that y'all was related initially, but I could tell by the nose and all that stuff. Now I can. But once I wish I had the. You sent it to me. Your dad sent it to me. See if I can download, play one of your tracks too. But when I saw the TikTok and I heard your lyrics, and then I saw how your dad reacted, and I reacted the same way because when I heard the lyrics, the lyrics are emotional. They create action, movement. You know what I mean? So everybody can't arrange their words into sentences, into paragraphs that can move people. I had an opportunity to interview Maya Angelou. I don't know if you know her.
Oh yes.
And she's one of the greatest of arranging words to create emotion, to create action. And so I don't know how old you are.
I'm 27.
27? Okay, all right. So you got a little, because you got a lot. So your mind just 2 years ago, you just fully developed your mind. At 25, they said,
right,
yeah. And biologically, we got a nurse here. Biologically, your mind don't fully develop until 25. So we should be kicking our kids out at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They're not ready mentally to make those accurate decisions of longevity. But I heard your words, and I know your father, and I know your father loves God. I know he loves God. He defends God because I'll be attacking the clergy, and he's one of the defenders, and so I know he loves them. Everybody else runs away. There's only a couple people that will actually say something back to me. But I do that because I do it as an experiment to see who actually really loves God.
Yeah.
So, but when I heard your lyrics, tell us who you are. How do you even get into music, or actually writing, and then who told you that you could entertain, and then how? Tell us a little bit more about your relationship with your father, because Father's Day is coming up, and your father put you on blast. You wouldn't be here unless he put you on blast.
Right.
But he did it in a loving way because he felt his daughter needs to be out in the world, and everybody else needs to see you also. And I'm glad he did that because I got goosebumps now. God's in the building. Oh yeah, God's in the building. He has arrived. And so when I heard your lyrics, it created emotion in me, and I said, "Dang it, we also need to propel you also." So let us know who you are.
Yes.
Omaha, you know how these stars are. They got their own noun verbs,
Predicates.
prepositional phrases, all yes and predicates. Go ahead and introduce yourself, young lady, and then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. So, first, thanks for inviting me and having me on here. My name is Desiree Sanders. My artistry name is Salt. It stems from Matthew 5:13, being salt of the earth. And just to kind of hit on the questions that you asked, probably not in the order that you asked.
No, that's good.
But I didn't choose music or to be, an artist per se. I don't even like to call myself an artist. Actually, I'm just the hands and feet, eyes and ears of God, and this is how he decided to use me, is through music. People that do know me, they've known I came from dancing. So I used to be heavily in the arts of dance when it came to what I wanted to do as a profession. I started dancing at the age of 4. So that was something that I was pursuing heavily and wanted to be quote unquote well known for when I was living in the world. And you know, I was choreographing for different people and going to different studios and teaching and things like that. So that's what I was doing up until the pandemic actually hit. And once the pandemic hit, which everybody knows 2020, that's when I got real serious about my relationship with Jesus. And before then, you know, I was raised in the church, you know, as he had already mentioned. My dad, he is a pastor and he has his church here in Omaha. And so I grew up in the church, but I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus. I knew who Jesus was. I knew the overall aspect of what a Christian is supposed to be like, per se. More so the religious aspect, not necessarily the relationship part. And I had to develop that on my own because, you know, I mean, God says to develop your own relationship with him. You can't get to the Father without knowing Jesus. You have to go through Jesus, and I wasn't going to get to God through my dad knowing Jesus, or through my mom knowing Jesus, or anybody else in my family. And so,
That's word that says Punisher on it.
Wow. Shook the ground. But yeah, so anyways, I started to get serious about my relationship with Jesus in around 2020, you know, because I at that point in my life, that's where I was. And so from that point, he started to speak to me about how he wanted to use me, and it was in the arts, performing arts. So I kind of like already had that confirmation from him, but I didn't know it was going to be music per se. So fast forwarding to 2021, he called me to move to Wichita, Kansas, which is now where I reside. And I moved there, and once I moved there, he was revealing to me how he wanted to use me through music.
Okay. And,
you know, going back to, you know, how you asked where did the writing and everything come from, I used to always like just journal.
Okay.
I journaled a lot. I wrote a lot of poetry, and I have written like songs before, but never songs for anybody to hear. They were just, you know, it was for myself, and like just, and it wasn't anything like, it wasn't Christian songs. It wasn't about Jesus. It was just about what I was going through or dealing with at the time, like whether it would be men or whether it be just like my emotions and my thoughts. That's what I would write down in song form. And so I just thought, like she said, it was very personal for myself. So then when I actually moved to Wichita, Kansas, is when the Lord had told me, I want you to start writing. And you know, it just kind of, it was already in me. So I started writing, but what I was writing then was where I was at that point, and that was building my relationship with Jesus. And so the very first song that I did write, it actually it came about because I was crying out to the Lord about deliverance, and I was seeking him to deliver me from all the things that I had went through in my life, and I just felt like so dirty and just so I just didn't feel seen, you know, and I just felt like there was no hope. But the song actually ended up, I just started writing. It wasn't even like thought out. It was more like I was journaling, and there was like no sound to it. It was just me writing, and then the song went to a sound later. And it's a conversation that I'm having with the Lord, and he's actually speaking to me about how he wants to set me free. And that song on the album is called Deliverance. And so that's how that came about. But yeah, to just go back to how the writing came about or whatever, it just stemmed from him. Simply, like, I can't take any credit. I don't take any credit. It's really Holy Spirit working inside of me, producing what he wants to use me for, and to speak to whoever he wants to speak to through me. I'm just the vessel at this point. So, yeah.